Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la la.
Thank you for joining us today. My name is Claudette Esterine-Campbell, and I am the Chairperson and President of this foundation. For many today, Christmas is just a holiday, a stressful one at that. It's a time for buying gifts that didn't need to be bought out of a budget that couldn't afford them. It's a time for squeezing parties and extra events into a schedule that was already too full. It's a time in which many feel rushed and overcommitted when what they really need to do is slow down and enjoy this season. Christmas should be a time of peace, not of stress and frustration. With stress, we may overlook someone on our gift list, or maybe they won't like what we bought them, or perhaps they'll think it's too cheap. For some, Christmas brings the added tension of bringing together fractured families. Instead of peace, they dread the inevitable conflicts. Yet, Christmas should be a time of peace. Christmas should be a time of hope. Think about this. Christmas is poised at the end of one year and the beginning of the next, at the crossroads of the past and the future. A previous year, with its blessings and its trials, is gone. A new year looms ahead, full of uncertainty. Yet, here is Christmas, the celebration of a birth that took place over 2,000 years ago, a perennial bright spot on our calendars because God has given us hope. Christmas should be a time of hope. Christmas should be a time of love. Love centered around the greatest love story ever told, the story of a creator God who so loved the world that he gave his only begotten child, so we're told. Christmas is the story of God's greatest gift given to meet our greatest need because God is love. Christmas should be a time of love. The Christmas story, a tale recorded year after a tale retold year after year, yet it never loses its majesty. It never ceases to fill our hearts with wonder. It's a simple and familiar story, isn't it? Yet, I realize that there's a danger when you hear a familiar story. There's a danger of thinking, I've heard that before. There's no need to listen to it again. Then you tune it out. I hope that doesn't happen today and this morning, and I encourage you to look again at this old but precious story, using your imagination and allowing the deeper meanings to resonate with you. I want you to see 3 facts, 3 certainties, that if you will let them find room in your heart today, they will fill this Christmas with peace, hope, and love. The first is that God is in control. See, first there was a scandalous discovery. She was found with child. Forget for a moment about the part of the Holy Ghost. For several months, Mary was able to keep her condition a secret. But the day came when her pregnancy could no longer be hidden. She was found with child. She was found out. She had a bun in the oven. I can only imagine the confusion this caused, the questions, the tears, the anger, the accusations, and the quiet denials of Mary. She was pregnant, and everyone knew that she shouldn't be. Many of us today can put ourselves in Mary's place, facing the condemning stares of family and friends, those knowing looks of the neighbors. Can you imagine the gossip, Can you imagine the facts filled with juicy speculations? It must have seemed to Mary as if her world was coming apart. Then there was Joseph's dilemma. Now, put yourself in Joseph's place. What else could he think other than that Mary had been unfaithful? How could he possibly believe her unbelievable explanation of her pregnancy? Would you? Could you? I do not know what emotions Joseph wrestled with, but the scriptures indicate that Joseph struggled to know what to do. He was a just man, and he had to do what was right. However, everything that was happening was according to a plan. If Joseph would allow God to be in control, God would be responsible for bringing peace. To our Creator, you see, there are no surprises, doubts, uncertainties, fears, or knowing what is happening in our homes and hearts. God knows just what to say to bring peace into our hearts this Christmas. And that is one truth of the Christmas story. Following the Christmas story, we see a powerful demonstration of the divine's abilities. He enabled a virgin to give birth. According to it, God supernaturally created a child in the womb of Mary without the aid of a human father. You can believe that it happened as it is written, or it did not. There are those who reject the virgin birth as a biological impossibility. For some, like me, we prefer a more metaphysical understanding of the virgin birth and look to the meaning of the creating of a life in a virgin womb as an illustration for us that nothing is too hard for God. Simply put, God can. You don't know my need. God does, and he can meet it. You don't know my problem, but God does, and he can solve it. The Christmas story is an annual reminder that God can. Knowing that God can brings us hope. A caring God is also another aspect of the Christmas story. More than 2,000 years ago, a baby came into a grim and dark world, bringing light to us, a light that still invites women and men to come into the warmth of God's grace and find there peace and hope and love. And so, as we get ready to celebrate this Christmas story yet another year, let us realize and embrace the underpinning meanings, realizing that God control. God is in control and will fill your Christmas with peace. God can fill your Christmas with hope, and God cares and will fill your Christmas with love. Thank you for watching, and have a blessed rest of your Sunday and a Merry Christmas from all of us here at the Daughters of Sheba Foundation.